Alright, am I back? Is this working? Hold on. Let me change this, and if I see it here. Stream finish. No, oh, okay. Fuck me. One second. One second, everyone. Sorry, I messed up the streaming. Alright, now if I go in here... Can I do a thumbnail anymore? Okay, I'm not allowed to do a thumbnail anymore. That's perfect. Okay, can I see the chat? Will it let me do that? Okay, so the answer is no. I cannot see the chat. Okay, I'm gonna wait a bit for people to get back in because I fucked up. Alright, let me just make sure the link I put this time works. When I click this, this will take me to the stream. Yes, I think so. Will this work? Maybe? Okay, well there's already 2 likes. So I'm gonna assume that means it's working. Well, welcome everyone. Today is a Christmas themed draw stream. So nice to stream twice, yeah. Alright, it's hard for me to explain the semantics of what's going on, but or I guess not semantics, sorry. I used a big word that doesn't even make sense. Fuck. I'm trying to get the chat to show up. They won't do the chat. Please do the chat. Here we go. Yes, okay. Hello everyone. What's going on? Okay, so if you start the stream brand new from the software and not from YouTube, it does not allow you to use all the neat dashboard features. So that's cool. That's dope as fuck. But the chat now shows up in OBS, so that's a plus. Well, welcome everyone. As I've said before in the first stream, this is a Christmas themed adventure we're gonna have. So let's start ourselves a new canvas. Today I'll be doing a few of the requests from Patreon. Or it was the sketch poll, I should rather say. And for this sketch poll, we had 2 things on the agenda. Wait, is the proper screen showing? Am I still on the Drawstream? Yes, I am. This is the software. Perfect. Why is everyone's name blue? Okay, I don't know why it does that, but this evening we have, let's get a bit more. We have a Santa Omen up on the agenda, and he tied with Elf Abby. So for that, I might as well do a fun little duo for this little Christmas special we got going on. Let me put on my gay little, what do you call it, tablet, not friction thing, the glove. There we go. Say some more big words, King. Californification. Yeah. Alright, so for this, I haven't drawn like Santa in a long time. Or I don't think actually I've ever drawn him ever, now that I think about it. So to get the idea, I'll do a little Santa here. How I think he looks. Alright. And now I somehow have to make that compatible with Inspector Omen, who looks... I haven't drawn him in a while either. But for Rinnerbra, he looks like... that. Basically. So with that in mind, I have to combine these two concepts. Orthodox St. Nicholas? That could be something I could do. As for Abby, well, Abby's pretty easy to draw, so that'll figure out as I go. Alright, so now you're gonna see from the absolute ground zero my lack of a process when it comes to figuring out what I want to draw exactly. Yeah, so first step, we gotta figure out composition. And composition is how everything will look. So I'll go for something a little wide. Alright, now from there on I have to figure out something actually. What's a good idea? Something having to do with Blue getting terrified or screwed over, that I know. Hello Fancy, welcome. I could put Blue in like a Scrooge thing. Let's see. I don't know what you call it, the sleeping cap or whatever. And that looks like Blue's the elf. We got this little candle thing. That must be your parents who punched Arius to cause what I see it. This will be a wall of some kind over here. See. So the Scrooge idea here is that like she's looking elsewhere nervously as these two are in the background and she can't really see them. That's the first idea. And I'm shrinking it because I'd like to try out some other ones as well. When will Warden be real? Here, I'll draw. Ooh, this is gonna be bad as well. Warden off the top of my head. I have this terrible problem where I can barely remember. Let's see. So his hair kind of did this. And I know they all like followed. Like the same general direction as Fringe. There's his sideburns. And his Warden eyes, one of my favorite eyes to draw, that slowly every other character has been adopting. Which was supposed to be just be a Warden thing, but everyone's got these kind of oval eyes now, by default. They got the creepy music for Warden now. So with that in mind, this is basically how I remember Warden being drawn. Depending on the season, he either has long hair or... Well, he has like his hair cropped to here, like I did before, or they can kind of go down like this. Which is entirely based off Venture Brothers, the Hank, yeah, when he has his arc. And Warden is almost always in uniform, so with that in mind as well. And since it's a season, everyone gets a fucking Santa hat when they get drawn. And that is Warden. Real. I'll just throw him in the corner. As I show my other idea that I was getting, which was that. Let's see. It's gonna be Blue sitting, sleeping, as Santa and the elf are dropping off the presents, trying not to wake her up. Let's see. It'd be really fun drawing with this. So I'll adjust these, but the basic idea is she's going me right here. Rip Venture Bros. Yeah, no, it is a damn shame what happened to the Venture Brothers. I heard rumors they're animating like a last movie. I don't know about a full season, but that's what I heard. Let me move the mic a little bit away from my mouth. I don't have the filter set up correctly. Here we go. Okay, so as she's sleeping, there's the Christmas tree, all the presents. Looks like we'll have to move this just a bit. Get some more canvas to work with. Oh my goodness. There we go. Cross this out of the equation. Is Warden a Santa denier? He would 100% be a Santa denier. Yeah, that perfectly fits with him. There's Abby, trying to put down whatever Blue's present is. woman will be coming out of a chimney for some energy. And right here will be the trouble starter. I haven't drawn. Oh, I forgot his name. What is the name of Blue's dog? I completely forgot. Anyways, that's what's gonna happen. I like the scenario the best. This is definitely what's happening now. Does Warren believe in Krampus? That's a better question. I have no clue. Do Germans even believe in Krampus anymore? This is a genuine... I have no clue. This is me setting up the ruler, because I have one of my favorite brushes here. Which is, I like using it for borders. It's basically, as you just can see, a purposefully uneven pen. With that, I can delete the ruler, and then that's supposed to look as is. And now I should start labeling this stuff, because it's starting to get a bit hectic. Alright, so everything on top of the layer, and top of the layer border will be drawn. His dog's name was her dog's name was Toad. Yes, that is what it was. Thank you. Sand deniers be like the coal industry is expanding for electricity and not dealing with the expanding naughty list. Your parents warned you about Krampus? Belief is a strong word. I can see that. Okay. That'd be like if American parents started warning their kid that Bigfoot was gonna come grab them in the middle of the night if they were naughty. Which would be a pretty good tradition if that was started, but unfortunately it does not look like anytime soon. Is the chat box too... Oh, oops. That was a bit of inception right there. I'm trying to check if I can move the chat box to be a little more clear. Let's see. Move it here, it might be slightly better. Not sure. The RuneScape music is very cute. I usually default to it when I can think of nothing else. Because they also confirmed it's copyright free, so your stream won't get muted at sections. At least, you know, ideally, who knows what they love doing. Right, I'm gonna try to keep this a little sketchy just because it's a pretty complex picture. So there's little need to kind of get down into the nitty-gritty. Brief glimpse of the Matrix, yeah. If you guys saw my desktop, you would see all these perfectly legally acquired PC games from the 90s. Or actually, mostly from the 90s. There's some from the 2000s. I might have SimCity 4 on there, I'm not sure. That is, of course, a joke for legal reasons. boy. It's the 16th. Okay. How's everyone doing on Christmas presents? I hope they're doing good because I myself, I was gonna go drive to this there's like this Godiva shop, which is like a luxury kind of. It's really not all that, but it's got the brand of being like a expensive chocolate. So I was gonna get that for my grandparents, but it like closed down like completely, permanently. So I'm a bit stuck. I'll have to figure out what exactly I'm gonna get for them. It's a moral obligation not to pay more than 99 cents for a PC game. You got that right. The books. That's a good idea. Yeah, every time I visit my grandparents, they always got. Oh, who's my grandma really into? Nora Roberts. Yeah. This poor little Swedish American lady loves her Nora Roberts. Chocolate economy and the shithead. Short one, yeah. The worst part to my family, I mean, they don't know, of course, but I've already gotten all my friends gift for, Friendsmas. Separate party. But none for my grandparents, which is a flaw in thinking on my part. J.D. Robb murder mystery books. That might be. Yeah, alright, I'll check that out. Thanks for the recommendation. Nora Roberts, I never actually read one of the books. I think I read the back of like the premise at my grandma's house once. I think they're murder mysteries. It was something about like a football player who was framed for a murder he didn't do. Which that's not a spoiler. That was the premise of the entire book on the back. I wouldn't know. I only read. What was the last thing I read? I read the main Sherlock Holmes books years ago, and then after that I was reading Agatha Christie for a while. 10 Little Indians, of which I cannot say the original title on stream. Let's see, what kind of pants to get blue? I'll just give her the really comfy, baggy ones. She's home after all. J.D. Robb is Nora Roberts under a nom de plume. Nom de plume. Wait, like for real? That's actually another one of her identities? I guess she's the real mystery. How mysterious. But yeah, going back to the RuneScape music. If it wasn't RuneScape music, I'd be playing some of my favorite JRPG music. I saw in a tweet Great Tree made. He reminded me how much I love Chrono Trigger. Or Chrono Trigger, I don't know how you pronounce it. Amazing soundtrack, that one. Those cans better have candy canes on. That is a wonderful idea. Alright, I'm doing pretty good with checking chat. Like I said in the first, now deleted, fucked up stream, I shouldn't say fuck so much, should I? On YouTube. I think they like auto fuck you over for that. Okay, I just said it again. I gotta work on the vulgarity. On the first stream, which unfortunately did not go over so well, I completely forgot what I was gonna say. I'm sorry. I was so focused on me screwing up the vulgarity. Chrono trigger. That's our word. This one's taking a bit because I'm planning out her outfit as I speak. Or as I do it, which is usually a terrible idea. But I got a pretty stylized style. I was gonna say simplistic, but I want to massage my ego a bit. So I use a fancier word, stylistic. She will have a comfy seat. First stream, never heard of it. Stream today? Salutes from Venezuela. Well, salutes as well. Back from America. Yeah, I don't usually do streams, but I'm trying to get better at them. I still have some trouble figuring out like when to talk, when not to talk. It's a different beast for some reason. Something I'd love to do down the line, though. It's hard finding someone who's... It's hard finding one of my friends who's like their schedule aligns. Just doing like a co-stream where we can just shoot the shit. Like a podcast, basically, I guess, but with me drawing. That'd be great, because by myself, I talk very differently, I feel. I'm a little less fun. Oh, that's what I was going to mention. Like I said in the first stream, the chat overlay does not... It refuses to work every single time I use Streamlabs. So, to this day, I still have not found a fix. So I'm probably making really nasty noises with my mouth. Smackslips.mp3 or something. I'll have to figure out the filters to make that a little better. Better as in not hearing, not as in amplifying it. Yeah, but since the chat overlay doesn't show up, I have to keep popping my head to my other main monitor to see the chat. So I might be a bit slow with some stuff. You like finding Chinese trinket websites for gifts. Your USB stick the size of a quarter. The 50-50 chance of it becoming a lighter. Yeah. Gotta watch out with that shit. I was at my girlfriend's mom's house, and I think she like bought some electronics from China, and like she was about to like say like, what was it? Like the slang in Italian is basically if something's like shitty quality, you say it's like, oh, made in China. And she was about to say it, and then she like hesitated because she remembered I was in the room, and I was like, I don't like. It's all right. I don't have fucking personal pride over it. I know stuff from China isn't so reputable for being high quality. Just gotta not take too much offense at that stuff for no reason. In this house, we only take offense to things when it is financially convenient. As a minority. Ooh, I forgot to save this. I pressed Control S out of reflex and I realized I was not saving. So let's do that. Okay, that's done now. Alright, so that's blue. Doing her thing. We draw some candy canes now before I forget. Now I'm thinking about candy canes and candy in general. You ever notice how I'm laughing at myself because I opened that up like I'm at a fucking stand-up routine. You ever notice how candy that you liked when you were a kid tastes like shit as you grow up? The candy that you thought you hated as a kid, you love as an adult. Mainly dark chocolate had such a turnaround for me. But there's also stuff that, no matter what, will always remain terrible, like black licorice. Frankly, awful. Do not find a reason for it to exist. How do I say this? Every time I meet someone who likes black licorice, I celebrate because it means there's less for me to have to view or imagine eating. So, you know, hats off to the... Have you got any new music recently? No, that's been a problem I've had lately, actually. I've been mostly tuning into the live stream of 70s Japanese funk, groove, soul music, but in terms of music with English lyrics that I can understand, no, I haven't really gotten into anything recently, though I should. I've been listening to some medieval stuff, but in terms of just grooving and vibing, it doesn't really hit the spot unless I'm in a specific mood. You hated Crunch Bars when you were a kid. Yeah, Crunch Bars were... Oh, are those the ones that feel like they're just full of air on the inside? If that's the case, I still hate those. I remember those now, I think. No, not those. Not bars. They were like these little spear things. Taste like shit. It just like... It tasted like stagnant air once you got inside, because that's probably what it was. You ever see those candy canes that are different colors? Yes. And yet are the same flavors. That I never knew, though. Now that you say it, it feels very obvious. They do all taste the same. What a horrible scam. Candy canes I'm very neutral on. I like the aesthetics of them enough to not care too much. I guess my main problem as I've grown up is that I really hate candy that's like... It just makes you feel sticky, like, and your hands are... and you immediately just go, well, this is disgusting. I hate this feeling. I'm ripping up pieces of the couch every time I accidentally, like, put my hand down. And it's really inconvenient to get to the bathroom because there's, like, 6 seats tucked in and I'm in, like, against the wall all the way at the end. Move on over, uncle. Those are arrows. Crunch has rice? I don't... You're blowing my mind here. I've never had rice chocolate, if that's what it is. Unless you're talking about Rispy Krispies? Rice Krispies, yeah. That I did. That's not... They do have some chocolate versions. I didn't like those growing up. You've been listening to some Detective Jabasco. I'll have to give that a listen. Thanks for the recommendation. How does a traditional, like, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer elf look like? When I say traditional, I mean fucking 40s movies, of course. Oh, 60s. Yeah, it does feel pretty 60s. Oh, I love that outfit. I like that. Have you ever given Dungeon Synth a shot? Yeah, I don't mind Dungeon Synth, but it's like... How do I say it? A lot of this music, it like gives me ideas, which is not a bad thing, but usually I'm just trying to vibe. So when I get ideas, I'm just like constantly in the like story planning mode, like not even for Blue Rivers at points, just future projects I have in mind. And it really, it starts to feel like I'm working again, basically. It's a very weird habit I have that I can't explain other than I'm probably somewhere on the spectrum undiagnosed. Early punk is fun to explore, yeah. I used to be really into... Sorry, I'm labeling one of the layers right now. Blue and tree. I used to be really into listening to... Oh gosh, what was it? The British guys of like... No future for England! Now it doesn't like no. It's alright in the UK. Whoever those guys, Sex Pistols, that's what they were. No future at all. I guess I just used to be really into British music in general. I was an Anglophiliac. I still am in a lot of ways, despite all the ribbing that goes on online. You know, I will take the unpopular hot take. I like English, like literature and culture. Maybe not, you know, the pop culture, but like even a lot of the 80s stuff I'm still a big fan of. Blackadder and all that jazz. I will take this controversial stand. Come on, England! Let's get some fucking goals! Tatsuro Yamashita. I will look that up after the stream. Period drawings mixed with period music really help me to draw. Yeah, exactly. When I'm thinking about fantasy, I have this old like fantasy playlist, and when I want like a specific mood, I'll just like put on loop like a 3-minute desert song or something. And to anyone else that's listening, probably in the room, they would get incredibly annoyed with that. But you know, when it's just me, it's perfect. Magic Ways by that guy. Normally I would love to put that on the stream, but YouTube will copyright strike almost fucking anything. I forgot Abby's characteristic nose. Very important. The Intelligence reference on the last Blue Rivers arc. Yeah! Very obscure band. I was sent them by one of the acquaintances I made online. And yeah, there's like this whole album they have that's it sounds like such theater kid bullshit when I say it out loud, but it's like done really well. It's like a musical about the David Koresh like Waco standoff and like all the events leading up to it, and it's done really fucking well. I mean, you know, the whole album is so good. I literally took 2 songs from that album as like chapter titles, and that was. Did I do 2 or did I only do 1? No, I only did 1. Yeah, never mind. That's a single thrown grenade. But yeah, excellent album. Just fantastic. Just trying to figure out how to make her look a little more panicked. That does it, yeah. I know these clothes that they're showing in Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer are made out of felt, but goddamn, they look comfortable. I swear again, my bad. Gotta work on that. It's really weird. I automatically turn it off really well. Like, I've never sworn in front of like a family member or anything like that, or I try my best not to. It never happens accidentally. I guess I'll put it that way. Not for a long time. So I have this like inner filter, but for some reason it's hard to activate in this situation. Quite bizarre. Quite bizarre indeed. Should be okay. Yeah, with the overarching arc progression. Alright, taking 1 second. Ooh, you probably heard that. Cracking my wrist, or stretching it rather. So very good news. My wrist has been like, so there was like this lapse of pain I had for a few days that returned, and I was like, ah, god, like, you know, that is horrible. But looks like it was just related to like when I get like a cold, like a bad cold, and that's what I had for a few days. And I remembered, if you get a really bad cold, you know, your whole body kind of aches, all the muscles around. So it wasn't really just my forearm that was aching, it was kind of my whole body, and I was like, okay, I can get back to drawing. That was a terrible few days, just emotionally, but I'm all good now. many viewers do we have? 13. All right, yeah. It's definitely a good idea to do. I see. Make it like a photo post when I announce the streams, just because that's what the algorithm likes on Twitter. Last time I did it with just like a text post, and it was like a tiny audience, which is fine too. Yeah, it's just a larger audience gives a more consistent topics, so I can keep kind of talking for people. Drawing's easy because there's always something kind of going on. Video games, I want to get better at streaming those, just because it's fun, but not really mastered it yet. The more I think about it, I don't think I really have to announce that I like a lot of British stuff, just because pretty much almost everything I talk about is like British in some way. Sex Pistols, Agatha Christie, Arthur Conan Doyle, Tolkien. I mean, Tolkien's kind of hard to avoid at all if you like fans. The only people who don't like him are people that are obsessed with the idea of good not being real or some crazy shit like that. I'm rambling. Are there any artists you would consider major influence in your drawing? Whoever drew Sika, sorry, I forget his name, and I can see the style in my head. I'm just having trouble remembering. Oh yeah, and pretty much everything from like the UPA, which is like this 40s to 60s animation studio that did a lot of the stylistic stuff because they had specifically a low budget. And that works perfectly for me because I love economical styles that look good. Say of that what you will. Online, definitely sets. Zari is a huge example. I took a lot of inspiration also from Farfin, and yeah, that's about it. There's other styles I like a lot too, but they don't really have a huge influence on my drawing specifically other than just topics. So I'm thinking of like Kinu Nishimura. She's one of my favorite artists of all time. She does a lot of stuff for Capcom. Toriyama is also just great in general. I love his boxy vehicles. I hope your wrists continue fine. Have you tried lifting weights, focusing your wrists and forearms? Yeah, I have been. Though when I had my cold, I had to slow down for a bit. But yeah, I have this little 10-pounder weight that I use for specifically wrist exercises, which also go into the forearm tendon. Putzai Pao. I definitely did not pronounce his name right, but yes, that is the Jusika offer. Thank you. Thank you very much, Commissar. forward to decorating this tree in terms of drawing. This looks really gross. I don't know why. There we go. That's a little better. But yeah, I think my wrists are on a good way to recovery. Even besides that, I think I will eventually switch over to... Even if my wrists fully recover, I think I will do my next project as either a visual novel or as a quest, MS Paint adventure style kind of thing format. Though probably a visual novel, just because speaking pure, being very directly honest with everyone, it's the most sellable financially, psychologically. Obviously, people aren't as willing to pay money for a digital comic. If there was a physical release of it, maybe one day of something I did, maybe, but in terms of just a digital release, it's kind of a difficult sell to people, and I perfectly understand that. But a visual novel, that's pretty easy. You put it on a itch.io or Patreon or Steam, and the people understand the idea of paying for that. Howdy, how you doing? So that is a lot easier to kind of make some money off of. Because, like, I was pretty comfortable before, because I was like, okay, well, I'm just one guy. It doesn't really matter how much I make as long as I'm like surviving, but I've given a lot more thought to the future, me and my girlfriend, and yeah, it's time to start thinking more seriously, I guess, about ways to make more money that'd be more comfortable for 2 or more folks. A quest is also a good idea, but not really financially speaking. I haven't really heard of people. It's kind of the same thing as a comic. People aren't as willing to pay for that. So, like, I mean, good comics don't make quite a bit of money, or like the top tier comics out there. I'm like hitting the table for punctuation. But yeah, I mean, that's all I really have to say. Anything else would just kind of be filler. Does that make sense? Also, a visual novel, it's easier on my hand to draw. On top of that, it's a lot of, it's very dialogue friendly, and I think my specialty is probably having humorous conversations. Not that I'm still a very good dialogue writer, not yet, getting there. But like, I notice I'm pretty alright at entertaining people with them at least. Is a quest like a create your own adventure sort of deal? Yeah. So think of prequel quests, problem sleuth, the early phases of Homestuck. There was car quests on like 4chan so many years ago, but no one's gonna know car quests. I was on like on /TG when they still did quests. Do any good at reading recently? I am currently reading. Let me grab that. My priests let me borrow this. It's a biography on St. Augustine. And even if you're reading it from a non-religious perspective, it gives a lot of perspective to the world. And when was he alive? The 900s, kind of that early medieval age. And it's fascinating, and the way people thought and spoke. Like, one thing I learned was people back then mostly read out loud, to the point that Augustine of Hippo, he mentions that he met someone who read silently and he thought it was like the weirdest thing. Like, it was weird enough to put it down into writing for future generations. That was just goofy. There's also an amazing... So yeah, let's do a live reading right now. Let me grab it. There's a... quite a... Augustine had a son who lived to around 17, I believe. And he was in... obviously, he loves him very much. So, yeah, he died at 17. Augustine writes in a book to pay tribute to his son after he passes, and boy, it's... yeah, I'll read it. So this is what St. Augustine wrote about his son. He was finally made by you, about 15, but already more intelligent than many older and more learned men. I testify to the talents you gave him, my Lord God, who make everything and can reform what we deform. Since there was nothing of me in my son but my sin, you and none other inspired us to bring him up in your teachings. His mother was a Christian, while I was a Manichaean. I testify to these your doings. One of my books is called The Teacher, in which he speaks with me. You know that all of the ideas he expresses in his dialogue with me were his own, even though he had only reached the age of 16 at the time. I had observed even more astonishing things in him. His talent was intimidating, and who but you could frame such a wonder? You took his life away early, but I am content, having nothing to fear from his conduct as a child or a youth, or if he had become one, a man. And yeah, just very nice tribute to his son. The name of the book is Augustine's Confessions, a biography by Gary Wills. It just kind of goes over his life story with excerpts from his writings. Yeah, it's pretty good. Besides that, in terms of fiction, I've been reading The King of Elfland's Daughter, which is a very old school fantasy novel. That's been fun. It's really getting me back into the mindset of writing more folklore feeling tales when I eventually do fantasy, instead of something more, thought out as a... I shouldn't say not thought out, but less focus, I guess, on things that don't really correspond to the actual adventure of it. I bought the Dune book, haven't read that yet. Have I read much philosophy? Honestly, no, not really. I've read ideas here and there. I was really into Albert Camus in my college days, but over time I kind of just moved towards religion instead, personally. And from that I found a lot of great writings by Augustine, and in particular. I've read... yeah, I mean, besides that, my philosophy just kind of built up over the years from random things. I took a bit from Ted Kaczynski. I mean, this is getting into politics, so maybe that's not exactly philosophy. A little bit from Ted Kaczynski here, a little bit from Evola there, a lot from Mishima, Yukio Mishima. But nothing really concrete, I guess, just ideas here and there of looking back towards past ideals or the way people lived back then. Do I have any prior experience with VNs? Yeah, I played a lot of the Ace Attorney games when I was younger. I played... this is going to be very entry tier. Steins Gate. I played... Karawa Shoujo. That was the 4chan developed one with the disabled schoolgirls. Not disabled as in mentally, just physically. What am I trying to do? I gotta draw Santa moment. I should look at the OG Arthurian legends. Yeah, I read Sir Gawain and the Green Knight, but and then I also watched the movie. What was it called? Excalibur from the 80s. Beautiful movie. My God, it's amazing. Everything about it. Dune is a great sci-fi. Yeah, I love that. Just its focus, I guess, on fantasy and everything like that. I really appreciate that Dune can show sort of a return, I guess, to more traditional human organization and philosophy with like all that future age technology, and show it's like, you know, it's a pretty right universe to live in, really. At the end of the day. Professor Layton on the list? I played a bit of Professor Layton. I'm gonna be real, I'm stupid. I wasn't that good at it. I played I think one of the DS games I borrowed from a friend. I think I might still have it. Oops. I gotta return that to him. That's been like high school. Barnes & Noble has a great collection that's really true to material. Yeah, okay. The Arthur Legends. Was the show Merlin any good? I think on Netflix or something? My friend talked it up. I didn't check it out yet though. Nah, I know it's probably not true to legend, but it was actually any good. Oh, I've also been working my way through the Canterbury Tales, but not in a while. I kind of got distracted by other materials, which is a shame because Canterbury Tales is a very good slice of life, basically, or collection of short stories told by normal people in a medieval setting, which is very good for ideas. Like 1001 Nights, that's an amazing book as well. Arabian Tales. I'll probably bring that. The Plane Journey. Merlin takes liberties, yeah, I imagine. People have a tendency to misunderstand how VNs and dating sims function as branches of adventure games. Yeah, like the old point and clicks, for sure. Maybe one day, you know, if the VNs take off or something, I could probably contract with a studio to do something a little bigger, like still a small studio, but yeah, like a... Boy, I don't really have any ideas in me right now. But something still low budget, but a little more than what one man can achieve feasibly. That'd be great. Have you read A Connecticut Yankee in King Arthur's Court? I have not read that one yet. Though recently I reread. This is something I was going to draw as a comic before I started Blue Rivers, because I wanted to adapt it. It was... Mark Twain wrote a short story, half fiction basically, half autobiography, about his experience as a militiaman in the Civil War. And it's really, really good. And it's what inspires a lot of Blue Rivers. Private History of a Campaign That Failed by Mark Twain. That's a short story I recommend. It's funny. mostly, but yeah, there's also a lot of like, there's like kind of like that wow moment, you know, at times of like, damn, it's good. But no, I have not read Connecticut Yankee. Yeah, 1001 Nights, man, the imagery is beautiful in that book. Like, just talking about. Now, I don't remember a lot of the exact stories, but the imagery from like words alone sticks with me still. There's this one tale where a traveler is going through like a desert, and he finds this beautiful palace just in the middle of these dunes, and as he walks in, there's just this forlorn, depressed old king from on like a floating throne in like the middle of this like empty room, and that imagery sticks with you, man. Just the surreal, crazy stuff. Yeah, no, beautiful collection. And even how the even the copy I have starts out very amazingly. The author was like, like had his Arabian grandmother tell him most of the stories, and he wanted to compile them basically. She would tell him one of the stories every time he got a little bored or something. But yeah, great, fantastic. In terms of manga, I can enjoy The Hero, The Dragon, The Courier. I'll see about that. Right now, as anime, I'm working through a lot of them. My next fantasy anime, I want it to be Records of Lotus, because it just looks really good. But right now, I'm working my way through One Piece and Legend of the Galactic Heroes, which are both long series. But Legends of the Galactic Heroes I should probably finish first before I get started on One Piece. Too much. Sorry for the delay. I'm looking up a drawing of Toad right now. He's like surprisingly difficult to draw. But yeah, a lot of people are always really surprised when I tell them I don't really read philosophy. Not that I think there's anything wrong with it if you want to, but from what I've noticed personally, I've never really seen anyone who studied philosophy end up doing too much with it, I guess, as compared to like other avenues. So when I saw that, I guess I was like, okay, well, maybe I should focus on reading something else. Which is, yeah, I mean, that's a really mean way to say it, and I really shouldn't have said it so meanly, so I apologize for that. But yeah, that's what I've tended to notice. I had one of my... Nah, it's too personal, I won't share that story. One of my friends. Records of Lotus War is okay, TBH, but very influential. Yeah, for sure. Honestly, I was interested in it the second I heard it was like a replay, where like, you know, it was Records of Lotus War is an anime that's, or it was originally a light novel series, but it's based off of the author's actual D&D campaign. Toad's not funny when he focuses both eyes. He's supposed to be like that. I gotta angle myself. My table is off. My table is angled and set up very weird because I don't really have a. My main desktop broke like half a year ago, so I've been using a new laptop ever since, which is okay, but it's really not convenient to type on, which is a problem when I'm writing, because then it just kind of makes me not want to write. What do I think of One Piece? It's very fun. Very, very fun. And that's really all it kind of has to be, you know? Doesn't need to be anymore. Though I hear it gets more serious as it goes on. And not that it's never not serious. There's some pretty heavy materials even in the first few episodes. Like Zoro the Black Sword, Zoro the Swordsman arc. They're like that whole thing deals with like some pretty heavy concepts for a kid, like, you know, state corruption and is it still worth it to serve like a bureaucracy that seems to be intent on being corrupt. Like, yeah, it's cool. So it's fun, but it's not stupid either. Or when it's stupid, it does it really funny, so it's like you don't mind. Yeah, so I give One Piece my highest review possible, honestly. It's just, it does what it does amazingly. What it sets out to do. Entertain and be fun. Ever give Night on the Galactic Railroad a shot? That's the one with like the funny looking lady, right? Like where she looks like this on the cover. She's wearing like a big fur hat. I've seen like the cover for it, but I've never actually seen the show. Trying to draw what a woman should do. I guess I'll just have a huge fucking sack of presents. Galactic Express 999. Yeah, no, it looks good. I will give Abby some more, but don't. 9:19. Yeah, I probably should have done this tomorrow instead of on a Thursday. My bad for anyone that has something to do tomorrow. I am a neat. Eiji Matsumoto's character designs are samey, but it's the good kind where they're all very pleasing to look at. I'm gonna look that up. Never heard of this person. Unless that's the person that did Galaxy Express. Oh yeah, it must be. That looks very familiar. Yeah, people are doing things on Friday. Yeah, the designs are very exaggerated, but it looks nice. Stylized is the word. It was a nice era for waifus because they're kind of focusing on trying to make girls a little more elegant or kind of aesthetic than they were. Moe. I say as the creator of Blue Rivers. Alright, well that kind of has most of it. I could have made the composition a bit better for this, but oh well. Oops. Back to my fucking screen. I swore again. Alright, let's combine those two layers. Merge with layer below. Now this will just be blue. I did make the best waifu omen, that I did. Put her a little here, because it's good to have overlay and things interacting in general. Always good. Maybe hang a wreath or some sort of holiday decor behind the blue. That's an amazing idea. Thank you very much. Fantastic idea. Let's see. I'm thinking about what to do for the decor. I know this idea I need to do. There we go. Perfect. A trap for Santa. Oh yeah, that's a wonderful idea. Thank you. Ornaments to reference the other characters. In that case, I could... This might be a good poster idea. Or maybe I'll just keep it to a sticker. I'll probably put this on Digital Grifter, even though it won't arrive in time for the holidays, probably. Yeah, it'll be a fun one. If people would be interested in getting this, I don't know as a print or as a just a sticker. Perfect. What Christmas movies do I like? I'm still a sucker for what's the movie called? Is it It's a Good Life? The one where the guy is like about to kill himself, but then he meets the angel, and then he kind of like guides him through like the life of the town. I'm a sucker for that one. It's very wholesome, I guess, but done perfectly well. Let me check. What is it called? And the crazy thing, I didn't see it as a kid. I only saw that recently. Christmas movie about angel. Angel gets its wings. Yeah, the angel's trying to get its wings. It's a Wonderful Life. Yes, yes, It's a Wonderful Life. Love that movie. Yeah, it's a really good one. If you've never seen it for Christmas, it's just sweet. Oh, that's interesting. I'm reading about it. When it came out, it had very mixed reception. Of course, people that hate it for the wrong reason. It's a Christmas movie. But Bosley Crawford, writing for the New York Times, said the weakness of this picture is from the sentimentality of it. Its illusory concept of life. The nice people are charming, and the small town is quite a beguiling place. But the pattern for solving problems is most optimistic. They all resemble theatrical attitudes rather than average realities. It's a Christmas movie. It's too sentimental. This is, this is written by people who are... The people who write these reviews are the worst, like, people ever. You'd never want to hang out with them. You gotta get back to work. Just want to pop in and say you love my work. Hey, well, thank you very much, Lockheed. I appreciate it a lot. Stay safe out there. What were they reviewing? They were reviewing It's a Wonderful Life. And it's like, you can criticize almost any other movie for being too sentimental or whatever, and I like, even if I don't agree with it, I'll be like, okay, whatever. But when it's a Christmas movie, it gets personal for me. For like, if you are trying to unsentimentalize Christmas, that is, like, come on, man. Like, it's like trying to ruin everyone's day for no reason. It's unnecessary. Let's erase this from Toad. There we go. Drawing the little fireplace right now. I still haven't mastered how to do these very well, where you kind of imply most of the lines and fill in the blanks from there, or the audience's mind fills in the blanks. I guess you kind of strategize about where exactly to place these. I'll get an eye for it one day, I'm sure. An area I gotta work on as well. Yeah, it's patterns, man. It's like there's that one manga. I haven't read that one yet. Oyota Gari. It's like about a Central Asian steppe life in the medieval ages, and the audience has this amazing love for fabrics and patterns, especially on rugs and clothes. I could not. I would lose my mind drawing what she drew. Astoundingly talented. Speaking of which, I'm gonna stretch my hand for a bit now. So. Particularly guilty of filling in the background details in the foreground character liner. It is what it is. I haven't drawn a group picture like this in a while. I'm glad I'm still able to. Abby looks kind of tiny, but luckily she's supposed to be an elf here, so not feeling too bad about that at all. I don't know how she has the patience for it either. Dedication, I suppose. Let's see. Let me just push my hand against the wall for a sec. Yeah, that's the ticket. I suppose, if anything, it gives not only appreciation for her talents, but also appreciation for like people who actually made those rugs back then. No wonder they were so expensive, luxurious. Isn't she tiny in general? Not Abby. No, she's supposed to be taller than Blue. She's got the huge badonkadonks too. Where'd my pen go? There we go. Ooh, shit. This is a Saradin desert from RuneScape. This brings back memories of mining. I think there's like iron and scorpions. Al-Kharid? Is that what it was called? In RuneScape. All my RuneScape heads know. damn, that's harsh. Or my cursive is a little rusty, especially with this size of marker. Okay. Deep breath. Cursive. Make it pretty. Merry Christmas. From Girls and Games is what I was gonna do, but that might be a little too heavy. How do I have this? Okay, there we go. Wrong tool. Blue Rivers game. From... Hold on, I have to look up like Krikuroar Karak just to get this parody correctly. Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays from Girls and Games. Why am I laughing? So rude of me. Hold on, I'm thinking about doing what I see is happening in this thing. There's still ruler icon. What was I about to write in here? I forget. Okay, now I gotta find out what that tiny little mark is. There we go. And then here, I can write Merry Christmas from girl. Calisthenics with a bar is best for stretching. Yeah, that's probably what it is. A long day at work. Oh, well, have a good night and God bless yourself, Monk Mini. Enjoy yourself. Best of luck with tomorrow and have a Merry Christmas. Ho ho ho. Girls. Why does... she... The N, like girls N games. Why is there 2 apostrophe marks in the original comic that I'm looking at? Full rivers and sized in. Can you do co and then like company and then the exclamation point? This is a weird grammar rule I never had to deal with before. I'm gonna assume I did it correctly. Yeah, alright, I think I will not use what I had before. I'll draw some kind of thing up there. What time is it? 9:46. Alright, I'm about to come up on the 2-hour mark. And here I gotta figure out, like, what exactly I want to do. It might just be a reef. It don't matter. Yeah, hopefully it doesn't. Yeah, since I can't figure out anything else, I think I will just make it a reef. Either a reef or I could do like a little St. Mary shrine. I think that is what I'll do. Yeah, I'll do a little St. Mary thing. I mean Virgin Mary, not St. Mary. Song title? On the Wing from the RuneScape soundtrack. You want it, it's yours, my friend. It needs such harsh lighting, I guess. As long as you have enough rubies. This song brings back memories. Ever check out Book of the New Sun? No, but I've heard of it. Right now, the next post-apocalyptic story is an unopened book that I'm going to read, and that is Canticle for Leibowitz, which is about like this monastery that survives, I believe, a nuclear war. I'm not sure. So that's what's up next. My post-apocalyptic. What type of nativity is the best? I think porcelain, personally, has a very soft spot for me. It's just what I'm used to. The abstract stuff, I'm not that big a fan of, personally. Especially oh my god, the minimalist nativity scenes where it's just blocks. That's not, I have to say, it's not my, not my preferred kind. If I saw that, I would probably wince a bit. Just personally, it's not at all what I like. I think for Omen, I'll simplify this part, make it less busy visually. Should make it so the sack goes all the way over there. Read or seen Dune yet? I saw the movie Dune. I have the book, have not opened it too much yet. I read it when I was younger, like only the first chapter or something. Up to like the assassination attempt scene. Maybe that's not the first chapter, but yeah. Cannibal for Leibowitz is classic sci-fi. Yeah, I should probably. Then I guess for me, it's like, after I finish this biography on St. Augustine, it's either Dune or Cannibal for Leibowitz. The old Roblox nativity scene. I would prefer a Roblox nativity scene as instead of a abstract minimalist one. That might be an actual hot take. Brutalist nativity scene is just a set of stone blocks of varying sizes and a pebble. That's the RuneScape main theme. This is gonna sound really goofy. Am I pronouncing nativity right? Nativity? Nativity?
Nativity.
Nativity. Okay, I'm saying it correctly. I don't know why that came up in my head all of a sudden. I'm like, am I saying this right? It just doesn't sound like I'm saying it right, I guess. Yeah, well, alright, that's pretty much most of it. Oof, my eyes. Watch out, everyone. Youch. Alright, this will be where all the colors will be stored. With Dune, I would personally recommend going one chapter at a time. Yeah, that might be the best idea, honestly. Just because it's so thick. Dune is just... It's like I keep saying, this probably sounds like so weird, but like I enjoy. I find the setting optimistic in the weirdest way I can explain. Where uh, there's always a fear, and rightfully so, that technology is going to end up enslaving us in more ways than one. So Dune having a Butlerian jihad. So in the Dune series, it takes place 10,000 years after the Butlerian jihad, which was like a depending on which part, which version of the story. But the original story of the Butlerian jihad is that it was basically like a semi-religious, semi-social uprising against the kind of like brave new world we had set up for ourselves, basically. And we kind of renounced computers, we renounced AI, but we kept like the other stuff and tried our best to return to a more focused on human culture. I don't know, the weirdest way to say it. I know it's not like a perfect setting, but the idea that we can bounce back from a Brave New World dystopia was very, I like that. That made me feel fuzzy inside. Are we out of RuneScape music? We are out of RuneScape music. I will just replay it from the start, because I'm not going to be here too long anyways. Alright, yeah, we're about to hit the 2-hour mark. That's when I think I'll call it, because coloring is going to be not fun. I'm not the best at it still. Might have been that we know very little about the pre-Jihad era. Yeah, exactly. I guess I just assumed that it must have been a Brave New World type of situation that would drive so much of humanity to join the revolt. But yeah, it's interesting to see a setting explored, because usually in these like space fantasy settings, it was like a unintentional fall from the height of civilization, like the Eldar in the 40k kind of idea. Even though in the Eldor lore, there's some that had already fled to live sort of similar to Amish lifestyles on distant worlds, but the point being that they always kind of portray that as like a, oh, we were so technologically like superior and amazing, but sometimes they're less. Sometimes, even though it's a fall in the technological sense, other things kind of pick up the slack. And in Dune, that's a lot of idea of family loyalty, honor, chivalry almost. It's cool. It was extremely poor reception to the Xbox 720. No more industrialized society. Well, that's the great thing about Dune. It doesn't go back to pre-industrial. It just, you know, basically the people got together at a religious council, I believe. I forget what the council was called, but what book came out of it was the Orange Catholic Bible. So That's the book that came after for the Empire. But basically, there was kind of a talk about what led us to this situation, and we figured out, well, mostly it's computers. Like almost everything else can be kind of adjusted, but or lived with, and we can retain kind of like we can keep at bay the more damaging elements of modernity. But when it comes to computers, there's really it's so much power that you give big tech and that kind of situation where you kind of enslave humanity to it socially. The internet and all that, I guess. Which, you know, funny for me to say as someone who makes their living off the internet, but it's kind of the idea. Not that they had the internet when the book was written, I don't think, but that kind of idea. Yeah, definitely makes it more viable to talk about it. Which is, yeah, it is interesting. Oh my god, I keep missing. I gotta zoom in. There we go. These are festive colors. There we go, that's a bit more fun. Oh, wrong one. There we go. Perfect. Yeah, sorry, I'm starting to get all tired now. I was gonna color this off stream, but I mean, it's basically most of the work right here. Might as well finish up. At least the major elements for all y'all. Plus the core of Dune is, hey, don't trust who leads you. They're as human as you. Yeah, Dune is... I mean, that's kind of the whole idea with the core of the book, which is, you know, political intrigue, and especially court politics in the medieval sense. You can't trust anyone in court politics. It's that idea of it reminds me of a quote I heard about how diplomacy was handled between clans and tribes in Genghis Khan's childhood. And that was everyone who was in your family or related to you by blood was an ally. Anyone who wasn't was automatically assumed to be an enemy. And that's kind of the same idea with medieval court politics. That's why family was so important to them back then. It was literally the only thing you were expected to be extremely faithful to other than your liege. But even then, your liege, if he was a tyrant, you could rally the other lords around you. But when it comes to your family, that was the only people you could depend on 100%. In return, they would depend on you 100%. That's the big thing with, yeah, the Atreides, House Atreides. Though unfortunately, of course, he loses a lot of his family. Very sad. Warden, I mean, Omen, I don't think I ever did his skin color. I guess he'd be kind of, yeah, like that. Pretty normal. I called Omen Warden. A pox be upon my family. Even then kill you if you mess up. Yeah. I mean, that's the idea. You can't wanna... Everything was for La Familia. Though in real medieval life, it was a very... becoming a kinslayer was a very, very bad thing. Almost no one respected a kinslayer. Good time. Me, myself, I think I'll call it for tonight. You guys will see the full color of this tomorrow or some other day. But fun stream with everyone. Sorry about the problem with the first stream where I was up for like 30 seconds and then I was like, what the fuck, this doesn't work. But yeah. Oh, let me zoom out a little bit because I just realized that shit, excuse me, is covering it up. Yeah, that's what Toad looks like. Alright, well thank you everyone. Have yourselves a wonderful night.